A little bit of REM to celebrate or denigrate the REM. Let's talk REM. This week, the folks across the street at CTV Montreal, they took a look at service interruptions since the REM launch. And what did they find? A whole bunch of them. 41 service interruptions. And this week has been a particular doozy when it comes to service interruptions on the REM. Apparently, sensors shutting off, people being stranded in their cars, no communication. It has been a rough week. But we really want to talk, now that we're a few months in, we want to talk about those service interruptions. And I'd also love to know your thoughts. Again, it's 5 stations right now. The whole thing is not up and running. But I know for many of you, it has changed your life. You're on the South Shore now. You can't even take the buses across the bridge anymore. You got to go through the REM. And I want to know if that's made your life better or worse, okay? We've got so many voices to get to over the next little while. And we're going to start off with Rafik Makos. He's a resident of Chambly, and he uses the REM, hops on at Brossard. Rafik, welcome to the program.
Hi.
How's life on the REM, Rafik?
Actually, it is not the best thing.
Not the best thing. Tell us why. Why isn't it the best?
Actually, I would like to be more positive, and I don't like to speak about the interruptions because, it could happen.
Yeah.
But the problem with me is that disadvantage that come with using the REM. So I'm working in Montreal as a Jewish hospital, and I used to take 4 transits. Now with the REM, I take 5 transits.
Oh, okay. So you know what? This is the perfect example, Rafik, right? Because they said, this was the promise, that the REM will make commutes simpler, easier. That isn't the case for you.
Yes, but unfortunately, the contrary happened. Like I said, I take 1 more transit, and the time even get bigger than what I used before. So now I take about 1 hour and 40 minutes, up to 2 hours to go to work.
Wow. Rafik, how do you do it? I cannot, I moved close to work, because I wanted to, so I walk to work now. I can't imagine an hour and 40 minutes in public transit. Why do you do it, Rafik?
Actually, I'm still new to the country, and I'm more Anglophone.
Yes.
So I have to work at the downtown for the beginning till I finish my French, and that's the major point.
Well, Rafik, I'm sorry you're going through this, and I appreciate how you're giving the service issues a bit of a pass, because that could happen. It's a new system, but the fact that your commute has increased and has become more complicated, it certainly goes against what they promised would happen. Rafik, hang in there, okay? And I hope things get better.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Let's go now to Josie. Josie Pizzuco is on the line. Josie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Elias. Good morning.
Tell us your situation here. Where you live, where you go in the mornings, why your family uses the REM.
Well, in July of 2022, we decided to move from the West Island, the western tip of the West Island, because we wanted to give our youngest daughter the best option to commute to Dawson and later on, hopefully, to Concordia or McGill. It was very difficult to get downtown from where we were living, and so we moved the family to Dawson, to the South Shore. And one of the criteria was for it to be easier to commute, and it was blissful for her first year at Dawson. It was a commute of 1 hour from door to door, and she wasn't dependent on anyone to take her, to take her anywhere with a car. And then, lo and behold, this past August, when she entered her second year, all the buses that were once available for her to take her downtown were removed.
Yes.
And she had no option but to look for alternative solutions because there was no way that she could get to the REM from where we are. So what happened was that this has increased her commute from 1 hour to 2.5 hours each way, and she has to take multiple transfers and constantly looking for different routes because it changes every day. And so this has basically caused an increased time in her commute. We've complained to the RTL. The RTL told us to talk to EXO. EXO told us to basically get used to it. We also submitted a complaint to a town hall that was held this summer. We had no call back from that. And now I'm trying to work with the mayor to see if there's anything that can be done. But at this point, it looks pretty hopeless.
I'm livid hearing your story. That your commute has gone from 1 hour to 2.5 hours.
That's right.
It's ridiculous. So before the REM, what you basically had a more direct bus that got to hop right on the bridge and take you to downtown.
One bus.
Oh my God.
One bus.
One bus. And I guess are you up to 2 or 3 buses plus REM, or what's
There's several buses and then metro transfers.
Jeez. It's bonkers. It's bonkers.
Completely.
Well, and it seems like you've been doing the full court press as well, right? With the politicians and the EXO and everyone on this.
Yeah, and with no avail. No avail.
Josie,
not even an acknowledgement, nothing, absolutely. Completely useless.
And Josie, what happens when on top of it all there's a service interruption?
Well, that's when you get into a nightmare situation and you either have to, out of pocket, take an Uber, call somebody to come pick you up downtown, and that kind of, it's not feasible. You can't live that way.
Yeah,
you cannot possibly live. It's like a Russian roulette situation where each and every day you never know. You just never know how you're going to get there, what type of disruption you're going to encounter. And it's extremely stressful for everybody.
Josie, listen, I'm going to make sure your story gets known here. The hour of your daughter, for the hour to 2.5 hours, it's unacceptable. We're going to try and make sure some other people know about this. Okay, Josie, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Elias.
All right, continuing in transit with gripes and kudos, and we're paying particular attention to the REM, getting stories about how the REM, and you know what, listen, I do want to hear from someone who thinks that the REM has made their life simpler and easier. I do want to get those stories as well. You know, I was at an event a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke to a man, and he drives now 45 minutes. He drives 45 minutes to the REM station, parks his car. He's got an electric car. He's very proud. His whole commute is electric. He drives 45 minutes to the REM station, parks his car. There's free parking, and he can plug it in on the chargers whenever he needs to. And then he hops on the REM, goes straight downtown to his office. He adores it. His life has become simplified because of the REM. But there are a couple of reasons why we're discussing this. One is the service interruptions, particularly this week. It has been pretty bad. And the common thread I'm hearing here is people who used to have a simpler commute, and now their commute is even more difficult. Let's keep this going here. 514-790-0800. Julie Oul is on the line, takes the REM from the Brossard station. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So let's talk about your experiences on the REM and worries of shutdowns and all that. Yeah, give our listeners your perspective, Julie.
So I have to take the REM after work this afternoon, and like everybody else, I feel stressed because I'm scared of a breakdown. There's been so many breakdowns happening this week, and people are asking on the Facebook group where you found me, is the REM working? So I take the REM from Gare Centrale to Panama Station every weekend because my boyfriend lives in Brossard.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been lucky enough to never had a breakdown, but I'm claustrophobic, and I've heard that people were stuck like 1 hour on the REM and somebody fainted. I think that their plan B has to be better. It has to change. What I think it's not acceptable is that the plan B during weekdays, during rush hour. There's no buses when there's a breakdown that goes from Gare Centrale in Montreal to Panama Station or any other station in Brossard. So they're forcing us to go to another city, Longueuil, when there's a breakdown. And when you finish work, you're tired. You want to go home. You want to get your kids from daycare. You want to decompress. You don't want to stay 2 hours doing back and forth and going to your home. So I've contacted Doreen Assad on Facebook, and she hasn't replied yet. I think maybe somebody from the government, Geneviève Guilbeault, she could do something for the Plan B to be better. And I think the communication is what's lacking in the REM. There's nobody when there's an interruption and the REM is stuck. There's no human voices to calm down the people and tell them what's happening.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Completely automated system. It loses some of the human touch. Now, can I ask you, Julie? How busy does the REM get? Like, because I've heard, it's empty, and then I've heard people say it's packed. I would imagine if you're stressed out about being on a train when it shuts down, let's say in between stations, what also matters is how packed the trains are. Well, what is the situation there?
Absolutely. When people finish their work, when students are going home, sometimes you don't have a seat. So I imagine being stuck on the REM, not have a seat, and after 1 hour, some people they need fresh air. They need to go to the washroom. We're human beings, and I think it would be very important that there's someone from the REM that speaks on the speakerphone and tells people if they have a problem, if they're not feeling well, then help is coming, because there's a woman who fainted this week, and that's when the shuttles came to help the people. They had to wait for somebody to faint to do something, and that's not acceptable. I think the REM has to do better on their social media. They have to take example on the STM. When there's a breakdown, in the minutes that follow, you can see on their Twitter, on their Facebook, the information, and they're telling people where to go, because with social media, it's so easy to have easy access to information.
Julie,
yeah.
I just want to say I'm happy you brought up the Facebook group before, right? Because we found so many people on that Facebook group, and
they're doing a better job at communicating the people that are taking the REM than the REM communications team. And I think that group is very interesting, and we can see what's happening. People are posting videos. It's an awesome group, and there's someone who realized the information to everybody, and he's working very hard. So,
and what's crazy is that so I went onto the page, 14,000 members of that group.
Yeah.
When 14,000 people have joined the group, it's clear that people, need more information and more answers than they're getting. I got to leave it there with you, Julie, but thanks so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Let me go now to Rosanna DeStasio, who takes her car to the Brossard station and then heads to Central Station. Rosanna, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How's life on the REM?
Not so great.
Tell me why.
Well, I take my car in the morning because I live right between Panama and Brossard, so whichever one. But because of the non-existent parking at Panama after a certain time, well, I decided to go to Brossard, and it's a much smaller walk. It's a much shorter walk to get to the REM. Mm-hmm. And I get to the REM very, very early, and it's just made my day much longer because instead of leaving at 6:45 like I used to get to work at 7:30, I have to leave at 6:15, max 6:20, so that I can get to work at 7:30. And often I'm still late because the REM's not working, or the connection to the metros are not smooth.
Yeah.
So it's not ideal. Like for the moment, it's not ideal. I'd like to be like optimistic, but for the moment, it's not ideal.
What was it better before the REM launched and it was bus service? Was it better? Was it a better commute for you?
Yes, it was definitely a better commute because, like I said before, I used to leave my home at 6:45, and it would take me maximum 45 minutes to get to work. And now it takes me over an hour, almost an hour and a half to get to work. So I used to take the 90 at the Chevrier in Brossard, and it used to take us directly downtown.
Have you thought about ditching public transit altogether and going car the whole distance because of this?
Well, because of where I work at St. Justin Hospital, the parking here is extremely expensive. So that's not something that I can easily afford. So for now, I try to do my best. I'm thinking also about putting an extra day of télétravail, of working from home, so that I won't have to commute as much.
Rosanna, listen, thanks for letting us know your story here. I mean, that's the thing, right? When people are saying, that's it, I'm going to do one more day from home because of how bad the service is, I think we all should be paying attention to those stories.
Yeah.
Rosanna, thanks so much. I got to leave it there.
Thank you.
That's Rosanna DeStasio with her story. One last note from the text line. Elias, I used to take one bus from Bonaventure to the Panama station. No longer able to do that. After listening to all the problems, I'm just going to take Uber or drive. Ironically, it obviously is causing more pollution, stress, and a ton of headaches, and more fatigue from spending so many hours in traffic that will surely affect students and workers and their quality of work. I can't even imagine what happens in bad winter weather. That's from Carol Ann.